Hey, welcome back, Rockets. It's time for more Zane and the Hurricane. I am so pleased that how many people that I heard today actually read their text, chapter 9 that I sent to you. Amazing. Mwah. Kiss your brains and say, I'm so smart. And that you are an excellent part of Team Haynes because you are valuing time and you are supporting and negotiating and you are being respectful and responsible. Very important things. So when we last left off, what started to happen? What did a hurricane cause? Lots of what? If you were thinking water, you were right. And the water started to flood the streets and flood the house and do all those things. So much that Zane ended up having to crawl up to not a basement, because basements are down below. Oh, to an attic. He went up to the attic. Wait a minute. That makes me think of a connection. Something to do with Miss Trissy and her late husband, Henry. Oh, there was another hurricane. And she and Miss Trissy and Henry had to go up to the attic. And when you last left off in chapter 9, Zane and Bandit had gotten up there. And Zane was feeling around looking for a hatchet. Anybody know what a hatchet is? Ask someone. And if you figure out what it is, type what it is in the comments. A hatchet is a type of tool. That's all I'm going to tell you. Make sure you have your organizer ready. I don't think we have anything to add here right now. And then let's look at our plot. We've already done the beginning and the middle. And I wonder if we'll have something else to add into the middle after we read today. All right, get ready. I'm headed into chapter 10. A face in the window. That sounds kind of scary to me. Let's see if I'm right. Crawling over rafters on my belly, I run my fingertips into every dark corner in the attic. Willing the hatchet to be there. Wanting it so much, I almost feel the weight of the handle, the heft of the blade. So has he found it yet? He says he's wanting it so bad. He feels like it's in his hand. So I don't think he's found it yet. Wanting doesn't make it so. My desperate fingers find only dust and splinters. Meanwhile, underneath us, the house shifts like a weary old wrestler, fighting to stay in one place. Timbers moaning in the water as the water presses from all sides. Every now and then, something heavy bumps into the side of the house, and everything shudders. What's taking over? What's taking over the whole house? Is it wind or is it water? Type it in the comments, please. I'm worried the old building will twist off the foundation and tip over, drowning us for sure. But the house doesn't tip. And despite the gurgling splashes from below, the water, thank goodness, hasn't made it up into the attic. Not quite. It gets within a foot of the opening of the attic, close enough for me to reach down and touch it. Oh my goodness. And then it pauses, as if deciding whether or not to swallow us all up in one big gulp. Don't know how long I'm lying there staring at the water level, but it feels like hours. Long enough to think about all the things I've done wrong lately. Flying down to Smellyville, that was my first mistake. Only if I'd never come down here, I'd never have met my great-grandmother or heard her stories about the old days or seen pictures of my father when he was my age. Him and his little brother that ran around with bath towels for capes, pretending to be Superman. And hearing Grammy sing like an angel. That was pretty cool. Her fussing over me and everything. But where did all that get me? All that stupid family stuff trapped in the attic, that's where. And then, of course, the stupidest mistake of all, letting Bandy jump out of the van window. I should have been holding him tight. Dogs jump out of cars all the time, and I knew that. What was I thinking? And leaving Grammy stuck in the evacuation traffic without even saying goodbye. That was a really, really terrible thing to do. So terrible, I can't stand to even think about it or talk about it. But there's no way to stop my brain from going over and over and over again. Every single mistake, every stupid thing I've done or said. My brain won't shut up. Zane Dupree, you are a fool. You are the dumbest human being on planet Earth. You left your cell phone in the van and ran away to save your stupid dog. And now you can't even save your own stupid self. What were you thinking? Now look what you've done. Crawled up into the attic to die like some drowned rat. You haven't got so much as a candy bar in your pocket and no water to drink. And it must be 100 degrees and getting hotter. You're just crazy. The flood water smells like when the toilet backs up. Only worse. Way, way worse. I'm surrounded by filthy brown water and nothing to drink. Nice going, you moron. You crud bucket, you dumb butt dipstick doodle brain. What's that rhyme my mom used to read to me? Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Something about being on a boat in the middle of the ocean and running out of drinking water. That's sort of how the attic feels. Like me and Bandy are shipwrecked on an ocean so hot the water is almost boiling. Like all the hottest days of the hottest summers have combined in the little attic. Sweat drips from the end of my nose, from my chin, and from my scalp, and from my hair, and from my eyes. Hot, hot, hot. Unbearably, unbelievably hot. Bandy is panting so hard, I'm afraid he might die of the heat. Did you know that dogs can't sweat? The only way they have to keep cool is panting. And it doesn't work as well as sweating. I know because somebody left a dog in a car at the mall last year when it got to be 100 degrees in the parking lot, and the poor dog died. So it can happen, and I'm not making this up. Finally, I get sick of waiting for that smelly water to go down. It hadn't budged an inch either way. It hadn't budged. I wonder what the word budged meant. Let me read that again. Finally, I get sick of waiting for that smelly water to go down. It hasn't budged an inch either way. What do you think budged means? Type it in the comments. And I decide to crawl over to the little vent at the end of the attic. Slants of sunlight streak through the vent, but maybe it'll be cooler over there. That's what I'm hoping. At least Bandy can pant fresh air. Hey, Bandy, follow me, boy. Follow me, come on. I urge him. My voice is kind of hoarse. I wonder why his voice would be hoarse. Bandy doesn't want to move. That's when I really start to worry. He might die if I don't do something to help. Taking my dog into my arms, I wiggle along the rafters on my back. The poor little guy is so overheated, he can barely whimper. But he seems to understand that I'm just trying to help him. Peering through the slits of the vent, I can see what else. Lots and lots of water. Water everywhere. And all of it's hot and stinky and disgusting. Sun glitting off the water feels like a hot nail pressing into my forehead. But the air near the vent is slightly cooler. Or maybe it's all in my imagination. Hard to tell. Hey, Bandy, feeling any better? Keep panting, boy. It's good for you. My mouth is so dry, I can hardly talk. But Bandy understands, and squirms closer to the vent. There's a little air moving through the slats, but not enough to make much of a difference. Bandit watches me through one heavily lidded eye, like he can barely stay awake. He's not even bothering to pant very much. Oh my goodness, this can't be good. Hey boy, stay awake, okay? Keep me company, that's your job, right, Bandy? Exhausted by the heat, Bandy stops panting and closes his eyes. Do something, I urge myself. The idea that Bandy might not survive makes me scared and furious at the same time. I try yanking the wooden slats, but my sweaty hands keep slipping away. I'm so mad and frustrated, I just want to cry. Not that it would make any difference, because my eyes are so full of salty sweat that it's so hard to see. My mom is always saying, Zane, don't be mad. Be smart. Think. What's the strongest part of the human body? Legs, Zane. Legs. Legs. You know that. Use your brain and your feet. I swivel around the boards and gather as much strength as I've got left. Then I kick the vent slats with both feet as hard as I can. And I kick them again. And I kick them again. Oh my goodness. The slats crack. I never knew breaking wood could sound so good to my ears. 3 more kicks and all the slats are cleared from the vent. Stop. Who helped Zane build up his strength? What gave him the courage to be smart and not mad? What helped him get that courage and strength to think and not be mad, to be smart and not be mad? I can think of at least 2 details to support the answer. What do you think? Comments, please. Right away, I can feel slightly cooler air flowing into the attic. I position Bandy so his head is sticking out of the open vent and he perks up a little, his pink tongue hanging out. They say dogs don't smile, but I swear that little dog is smiling at me now. In a few minutes, he's even got enough strength to... After all the flooding, the water has become perfectly still, like a dirty mirror. In the reflection, me and Bandy are looking down from the open vent to the surface of the water just below. Has it gone down at all? Maybe. Or is that wishful thinking? Bandy barks again. What's he barking at? From this angle, the only things clearly visible are the peaks of other roofs sticking above the water and floating branches and hunks of junk that might be parts of ripped apart houses and terrible hot reflections of the sun burning like the blazing white fire in the water, and far away in a silhouette against the sunlight, something is gliding by. Might be a boat. It might be people in the boat. One big, one small. It's there for a moment, way out beyond the roofs, and then gone, swallowed up by the blazing sun. I try to shout, but my throat is so dry and raw that nothing much comes out. I croak a pathetic little help, help. That sounds more like a whisper than a shout. No one could hear me, certainly not that far away. But Bandit keeps barking, regular as clockwork. And finally I get so tired of trying to shout, trying to make my voice work, that I fall asleep. Or maybe I just pass out. In my dream, I'm back in my room in New Hampshire, and the air feels like molten syrup. Syrup so hot and heavy that I can't move. My mom is in the next room, but she can't hear me because the shout is deep inside me and it won't come out. I try panting like a dog, but that doesn't work because my tongue is so dry it feels as crisp as a slice of fried bacon. Somewhere far away, a dog is barking. Yo, boy! Hey! Wake up! My eyelids are sticky, but I managed to crack them open. There, in the opening, the edges of the vent, with both hands, is a skinny black girl with dark eyes and wild hair. Oh, who is she? Is Zane still dreaming? We'll pick up tomorrow on chapter 11. Until then, Rockets.